I've got here as well, and that really shows the impact the club's had in the community, that people are really buying into it across all ages as well.
Peninsula Eye Care has been serving the peninsula since 1990 in a comfortable and friendly environment. Located in Yorktown on Route 17, Peninsula Eye Care is positioned to serve new patients from all over Southeast Virginia. Visit peninsulaeyecare.com to learn more. And you're exactly right. There's people all over. It almost seems like you can't really go a week without seeing a Lionsbridge jersey, especially on a game day. People love to wear their blue out and about, whether that's at the grocery store doing a bit of shopping or even just hanging around town. You're typically able to spot one of those bright blue jerseys moving around somewhere, and then chances are you'll see them later at the game, as it certainly is an event that seems like the whole family loves to go to and partake in. You've got the beer garden for the adults, a couple of the inflatables and bounce houses for the kids, as well as food trucks here at Town Bank Stadium.
We're missing out sitting up here almost, aren't we? But yeah, we've got the best seats in the house calling the game, of course. And BBU continuing to put the pressure on here. I'd be a little worried if I was Chris Wally at the moment, but the Bridge holding firm so far.
Nick Ruiz goes unmarked over on the far side. The pass couldn't find him, and that's another worrying thing for the defense there. It seemed like he was all wide open, and here finally the ball comes his way. Able to control it.
Certainly the danger man out on the right, and just occupying space. A great turn there as well. Skill to get away from the Lionsbridge man.
Virginia Beach holding a bit of possession. Sliding challenge from Guerrero to disrupt the play. Knocks it out of bounds. Perhaps that sliding tackle, well, certainly wasn't an opportunity to win the ball back. Ignites the fans just a little bit more. Pump up the volume here. Swapped over to the far side. Rich. Now along the left wing. Ball in across the middle. Headed away.
Yeah, dealt with nicely there by James Bradley. He's had a good game so far at left back. Played every game for that undefeated Lionsbridge side in 2020, and he's only a few games away from doing it again in 2022. Player who's been here over the last few years and plenty of experience in this Chris Wally side. Another good challenge from him there, and I think he's just been clipped. And there is a rather cynical foul down by the corner flag.
Yeah, it looks like the two just got tied up there, and Joe Core, defender here at William and Mary, just right up the road. The top drawer soccer top 100 freshman in 2020-2021. Halfway through the season with the Tribe, moved from defense to forward. And so he's certainly a player that loves to join the attack as well, even as a defender here.
That's always a positive sign. It's just a miscued pass there across the field, but good awareness there from Materazzi to try and find Hopfer, who does manage to keep it in. It'll just bounce behind there, so a little bit of a quiet passage in the game, but I don't think either side will manage it. You can just feel the heat starting to cool off as well, which does mean the players can settle down and play a bit more high-intensity football if they need to. Certainly, teams might just adapt their tactics a little bit by the time the second half rolls around, when it is a bit cooler out there and less humid.
Now those shadows really beginning to draw long across the pitch here in Newport News. 92.3, the Tide Radio presents 92 Days of Summer. Certainly those longer days, a big part of it. Tide will be giving away a big prize every week for 13 weeks at TideRadio.com. Make sure to enter each week for your chance to win big. As Lionsbridge, it seems they've been winning big every single week here. So far, undefeated this season. 11-0-2 overall. 7-0-2 in the USL 2. One of just 5 teams out of over 100. 113 to be exact in the USL 2. 5 of them are just unbeaten. Lionsbridge, one of them. Now a chance to go forward. Playing it up top, looking for Core. Defender able to clear that one away.
Yeah, VBU just settling it down now here as well. We talked about the divide between the top two and the rest of the division. I've worked out that Northern Virginia in third are actually closer to bottom place Commonwealth Cardinals in terms of points than they are to Lionsbridge at the top. So there's a real gap there between the top two and bottom four, but I suppose it's a chance for VBU to show that they can do something about it, and they're not as far as the top two as the league table seems to indicate.
It could perhaps just be a rough start to the season, whether that's playing against some of the stronger teams like Lionsbridge, like Christos, or even just not having your full squad. We've seen that a couple times so far this season for a number of teams, and in seasons past, the entire squad doesn't quite make it up to wherever the team is located for match day one. Saw a couple of instances of that here with Lionsbridge FC this year, but now that everyone is here coming together, sometimes you see a better picture of what that team really looks like. There's another foul just inside the Lionsbridge half of things. 3 fouls each for both sides, and I must say I'm a bit surprised that things haven't gotten a bit more aggressive, as certainly we've seen a couple games in the past between these two teams get quite a bit physical early on, and that really carries on through the rest of the match. But like you were saying before, perhaps it's just a bit too hot outside to really mess about.
Yeah, the heat, I suppose, can help out in the game. As Husen tested there, makes the save well. Hanging on to the second ball too. He's been impressive after conceding that goal in the 14th minute, as we in the run up to half time almost now, with about 7 minutes left in the first half. A really entertaining game for the Lionsbridge fans here, and they'll want a little more from their side going into the half-time break, as it looks like Hopfer might have just fallen over naturally there, but he didn't seem to think so.
It looked like it was a bit of an awkward fall for him, whether he lost his balance or inadvertently had his ankle tucked underneath him when he was trying to cross the ball over to his other side. Either way, he's back up, though. Certainly a good thing to see for Lionsbridge fans. And I'm going to take you back to that last Husen save. And the important thing was he got to the ball, and the second biggest thing, he parried it away from the goal, out towards the sideline. And that's something that goalkeeping coaches will hammer into you. Get it away from the attackers and out towards the sidelines. As Lionsbridge going forward, a chance inside the box. Now it's a Virginia Beach player who's down.
Good defending there by Mason McClendon. It was nicely worked. A little 1-2 attempted between Hopfer and Loco. It didn't quite come off as they might have imagined, and McClendon had to get there to clear the ball away. And, well, I think this is the first quarter since Lionsbridge went a goal to the good from a set piece on the same side. So Virginia Beach, if they've learnt anything, they'll have to mark really tightly to avoid a similar scenario.
First, WI Daily invites you to sign up today to get their morning newsletter with all the latest local news and fun events. Visit widaily.com now and enter your email. It's as easy as that to stay in the loop. Lionsbridge late in the 40th minute. Looking to go back one up over the opposition. Loco just outside the box. Trying to perhaps pick up the trash, anything that comes his way. This one sent in towards the penalty spot. Core nearly able to head this one in. Goal line stop by the defender. A bit an aggressive push off, trying to go up for the next aerial challenge.
Yeah, Charlie Elliott, he's a player who likes to get stuck in. So a ball there, cleared off the line. We expected that corner to cause problems, and it was good from VBU having a man back on the line. They know they were going to be under some considerable pressure there and able to deal with it. This time, of course, they weren't in the 9th minute when it was Charlie Elliott who headed home.
And perhaps that's something that was maybe even talked about during the hydration break. We mentioned how it can be a good coaching opportunity. Just picking up on little things, make some small changes throughout the game. Of course, you've done a lot of preparation coming up into the week before the game. But there, hey, watch out on those set pieces. They're especially dangerous from the corner. We've already conceded one. Let's not make it happen again. And they're being sure to mark the posts and just be extra cautious that nothing gets in on the corner kick.
Adam Davey just winning the ball there. A good number 9's been a key factor in Lionsbridge sides over the last few years. We saw Charles Touche, how well he did. Was it last season, scoring seemingly every game in the end, earned him a big move to another side. We've had Luke Brown here, of course, in 2019 as well, a player who I became familiar with in his time at my normal side, of course, Hitchin Town over in England. So Chris Wally does rely on these attackers who are able to put the ball in the net, but they have been sharing the goals around a little bit more in this campaign, Lionsbridge.
A good effort there from Davey, just a bit off target, going with the side volley, and certainly a name that Lionsbridge fans will love to reminisce on. Charles Touche and also his brother Alex Touche. Those two were such a dynamic pair.
Matt Bentley as well, is part of that front line. I mean, that's hard to replicate coming into this season, is it?
Certainly almost like a dream team that you can curate here in Newport News. From the run of play, you've got Charles Touche just causing chaos, and if he's able to pick up a free kick, Matt Bentley, where can't he put the ball? Inside the box now, chance across the middle, up and over the bar. How close for Lionsbridge. Davey just couldn't quite settle it. He'll be kicking himself after that one, and he's better stay away from Wally, who might be aiming to kick him as well.
That is a bad miss for someone like Adam Davey, who knows how to find the back of the net. 2 minutes to go until half-time. You'd have backed him to score that one to get his fifth goal of the season in the league. He scored 8 last season. He really should have scored there. It was nice work again by Loco, finding Hopfer. He's made the right wing his own. And it was a really good move by him. A selfless ball across the middle. And I wonder if it was just on Davies' weaker foot, up and over the crossbar. And he'll have to go out and make some amends now. You'd have backed him to find the back of the net.
Seems like, well, now that he's gotten that out of his system, everything hopefully should be well on target here. As Guerrero, middle of the field, working his way out laterally, skipping through defenders. Finally, the triple team forces the turnover. VBU now beginning to press forward. Rosales dropping it back. Now spreading things out.
Played into the back of Owen Ruddy there, so Lionsbridge able to bring the ball forward. Yeah, Guerrero just doing a little too much there. VBU able to get players up and around him, and I wonder if that miss will just serve as a bit of a wake-up call for Anthony Street's side, because there was a real chance for Lionsbridge to go 2-1 to the good on the stroke of half-time. VB will just be looking to get back into the dugout in one piece now, but the score still 1 apiece.
Good delivery over on the left side, across the center. That time it's in. Maxi Hopfer with the go-ahead goal in the 45th minute.
Maxi Hopfer on a fantastic run of goal-scoring form at the moment. He really benefited in those friendlies. He scored on Wednesday night, and he's got another crucial goal to his name here, putting Lionsbridge 2-1 up against their arch-rivals Virginia Beach United right on the stroke of half-time. And just after Adam Davies' miss, Davey will be very, very happy with his Austrian teammate, who hammers the ball home this time. And he's really found form now. Maxi Hopfer, it's only his second goal in the league this season, but he's playing such an important role now. 2-1 to the Bridge. And now their fans really have something to sing about as we enter 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half.
Chelsea dagger echoing around here at Town Bank Stadium. The fans certainly thrilled to have that one go their way. 4 minutes of stoppage time coming up. And I want to say, if I remember this correctly, Maxi Hopfer, certainly your man to watch coming into this contest.
Very glad. Because, yeah, he's certainly a player I looked out for in terms of stats, finding some form in the last couple of games. He's been excellent as well so far, out on the right wing. He's a player who deserved his goal. He went over to celebrate as well. He's one who knows where the camera is when the goal does go in, and he certainly remembered to do it that time around. Now 4 minutes of added time. Lionsbridge have turned this game back on its head in some style. Adam Davey will be a happy man, I'd imagine.
And it's a good job by Hopfer to find the camera. We've got quite a few here at Town Bank Stadium. We certainly love our broadcast here. Hoffer at Duquesne led the Dukes in points with 11 goals and 6 assists. Most goals for a Duke since 2015. And certainly gets it done during the school year and certainly doesn't slack off in the summer, picking things up during the break right where he left off.
Chelsea Dagger as well as a song. I've got to touch on that. That's like a classic British sort of party song. So I'm really glad that's taken off over here. It's a brilliant way to celebrate.
You see a lot of teams in the professional scene have adopted that. One of them, the Chicago Blackhawks, the ice hockey team up north, have picked that up. And of course here at Lionsbridge have a lot of roots from all over the world, and certainly a couple from the United Kingdom.
Yeah, the music's been fantastic tonight. I know Mike's in charge of that and Perry doing the announcing. It's part of the whole experience. If you get the song right before the sides go out, it can really fire them up.
Loco turning and shooting. A good disruption from the defender.
Excellent block, but I'm not sure that was the right move from Danny Loco. I saw Adam Davey out on the right. He was just on the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. He had found a bit of space, the English striker, and I think Loco really should have moved the ball across to him, and it would have been a better opportunity for the Bridge.
In hindsight 2020, and of course we have, like you said before, the best seat in the house. We can see everything. Perhaps Loco just being caught up in the moment. Saw some space in front of him, figured why not. Of course, sometimes that can come back to bite you, though, when you try and spread the wealth a bit too much. Perhaps one pass too many, but I think you're spot on with that analysis right there. Back across the center, open up the goal just a bit more. Rosales, a nice bit of footwork to keep that ball on his own legs. Finally, it's taken away. Lionsbridge, a counterattack going the opposite direction. Inside the 18, shot off target.
Offside anyway, signalled by the assistant referee on that far side, so no luck for Adam Davey at the moment, yet to be rewarded for the strong showing in this first half. Missed a sitter just a couple of minutes ago and then put that one wide, but caught offside anyway, which I suppose you don't mind as a striker if you've already missed the shot.
Arguably that's the best news for him. This is just the end of the first half. He's still got 45 more minutes to go. We'll see if there's any alterations coming up at halftime for either side. But, of course, Lionsbridge would also like to thank these 2022 season sponsors before the break. Chick-fil-A, Total Home Improvements, Express Employment Professionals, Parkway Print Shop, Emerly Krikorian, Remax Realtor, Ghost Energy Drinks, and Quality Productions.
I do. We mentioned the free substitution windows as well that you're allowed to make as up to 7 subs, I think, and one of those windows can also be half time. So you're ultimately allowed 4. VBU have made 1 already, bringing off Kendall Walks for Owen Ruddy. So Lionsbridge have half time, and then they'll have 3 more substitution windows in the second half for Chris Wally to be able to make changes, if I'm not mistaken. So can certainly play an important part in the game as we approach half time.
Virginia Beach perhaps just trying to settle this down, hold on to the ball, and make sure that Lionsbridge can't be the team going forward. And as soon as I say that, there's the halftime whistle. Lionsbridge up by 1 by a score of 2-1 over the cross-water rivals Virginia Beach United. It's been an exciting game so far. And Freddie, what a game to have you here for the first time this season.
Yeah.
Welcome back here. The second half of the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup. Moments away. Here's the final leg. Game 3 of 3. Virginia Beach United taking on Lionsbridge FC. Virginia Beach currently trailing by 1 to Lionsbridge. Maxie Hopper's 45th minute goal, proving to be the difference maker so far. Looks like we have 1 substitution here for Lionsbridge FC during the halftime break. Charlie Elliott coming off the field. He was able to score the first goal of the game, coming on to replace him, Noe Biju. And Biju, the 20-year-old defender at Robert Morris. And number 13. And right off the bat, Danny Loco, an opportunity. He's brought down inside the box as he was taking a shot. Good to see him back up, though, on his feet. And we mentioned at the start of the game how it was Virginia Beach who was kicking, or rather Lionsbridge who was kicking things off. Typically, it's the other team here at Town Bank Stadium, and Lionsbridge quickly out of the gate. Able to take notice of it this time, Lionsbridge forcing a turnover deep inside opposing territory, nearly making them pay. My name is Austin Urch, and I'm extremely excited to be bringing you this contest. And a big part of that, it has to be right next to me, Freddie Carty, here for his debut during the season. Freddie, we've had a great first half so far. What are you looking forward to here in the second frame of action?
I think more of the same from Lionsbridge, hopefully. It'd be good to see them just shore up the defence a little bit more, but Danny Loco played a good role in that first half, as is the man up front, Adam Davey, but he missed that great chance almost on the stroke of half-time. Maxi Hopfer spared his blushes a couple of moments later, but I think Davey will be out for vengeance after making that miss. Interesting, the substitution as well. I thought Charlie Elliott was having a good game, put the Bridge in front after 9 minutes as well, so maybe a little bit of surprise to see Noe Biju come on, one of 3 French players in this side. Certainly an experienced player, though, who can bring something to this Lionsbridge setup. He'll be playing at right back in this second half. A bit the long ball tactics so far, but Danny Loco's certainly good in the air.
Bennett settling things down, wearing the number 8 jersey. If he got a bit of blood on his uniform early in the first half and had to change out of it. He normally would be wearing the number 6, so it caused a bit of a confusion earlier on. And I think, back to your point, it was something that we talked about earlier, how there's quite a few games coming up this week for Lionsbridge, 3 games in less than 7 days. And perhaps that might have a big role of it. Lionsbridge up by 1 as a shot from Bennett bobbled around by the goalkeeper, and very fortunate not to have any blue jerseys right around him, as he couldn't quite handle that one.
Do you have the phrase hot potato? I think you'd be using that in regards to that bit of goalkeeping by Brant Heron. He's looked rather assured so far, but after that kick out, good bit of skill there by Guerrero, but that will really encourage the Lionsbridge players to have a few more shots from range. That was very poor by Heron. Certainly
Heron thinking his lucky stars for that one is nearly getting away from him, and in that situation as a goalkeeper, you just have to hope and pray that somehow it ends up in your hands.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the panic on his face as he was juggling the ball from side to side, but got away with it in the end. Lionsbridge certainly committing players forward in the early stages of this second half, looking to really put the pressure on this Virginia Beach side, who finished 8th and bottom of the division of this South Atlantic division last season. Just 9 points. They were 20 behind Lionsbridge in that campaign, so they have certainly made improvements this time around, no matter the result, how this one may end. And they've certainly been impressive so far, despite the scoreline. They've held their own.
And 2 more games coming up for Lionsbridge this week. July 6th when they'll host Christos FC, and then July 9th on Saturday, and it'll be Patuxent making their return here to Town Bank Stadium. Throw-in coming in from Bradley, sends this one inside the box. Important for the goalkeeper to come up and come down with it. Heron, better hands this time.
We're also hoping to bring out a new episode of the all-new Lionsbridge FC podcast. This is our bridge ahead of Wednesday's game, so we'll hopefully get one of those out for people to listen to. So make sure you're subscribing to that wherever you get your podcast. Hopefully got a couple of players coming on this week to have a chat, and then of course that big game on Wednesday night is going to have major implications. Lionsbridge up against Christos FC. The last time those two sides met here, it was a pretty unforgettable game, despite that massive lightning delay in the middle. That's the centrepiece this week, but this game equally as important, of course. Lionsbridge would love to win the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup with a clean sweep of 3 wins out of 3.
And of course, thanks for mentioning that podcast, and you can join host Freddie Cardi as he talks with Lionsbridge coaches, players, and staff. It's a good tackle on the defensive side of things by Materazzi. Ends a halt to that last VBU attack. The first episode features head coach Chris Wally, and the most recent episode, Lieutenant McVeigh. So you can subscribe today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform. As this one is turned in towards the middle, Loco lets that one go through. A bit of a miscommunication there between him and Hopfer. What a chance for Loco had he gone forward, but now perhaps curating another opportunity for himself.
An absolute box of tricks in this second half so far, Danny Loco. Unfortunately, it's a goal kick in the end of that. I wonder if Hopford did call for the ball or Loco spotted in behind him. It's always hard when you've got your back to the player behind you. It's hard to communicate and would have been a good move to pull off. But Loco, if he brought the ball down, he'd have been in a good position. He's certainly making things happen in this second half. The Englishman played a good level in England as well for Crewe Alexandra's under-18s for moving out to Cornell University.
Had quite a few Cornell players over the years, especially last season. I believe there were 5 or 6 on the squad. And Riverside Health System is the official sports medicine and athletic training provider for Lionsbridge FC. The club would like to thank our great partners at Riverside for keeping us in the game. Of course, Riverside also brings you the man of the match, and so far we've got a number of players to choose from, as here's another free kick for Lionsbridge. Of course, Elliott will be in contention for that. He scored the opening goal. Hopfer scored the second goal. Loco's been all over the field. Davey as well. He's been moving forward on offense, but hasn't quite found the back of the net just yet. A very dangerous position here for a free kick. Lionsbridge perhaps trying to go up one more, get a brace, and secure this victory.
Yeah, Andrew Bennett standing over it. There's 4 men in the Virginia Beach United wall. It's an excellent chance. Will he shoot or will he try to get the cross in the box? I fancy he's going to go for goal.
Good shot straight at the goalkeeper, though. They're unable to hold on to it, and based on what we saw earlier in this half, just firing it directly at him might not be the worst of ideas.
Yeah, these Lionsbridge players will learn on the job as well. They'll notice things like that and factor them into their game as the game goes by.
And certainly the hallmark of a good squad and good players, the evolution of the game inside the 90 minutes on its own as Bijou sends in a cross, but too many red jerseys, he can't part the Red Sea. Instead, the defense able to clear it away. And now a counterattack began from inside their own half. Tradati's pass off the mark, but VBU able to hold on to it. Now moving up, trying to go through the middle is Mason Field.
Certainly enough players in this Virginia Beach outfit to cause Lionsbridge a few problems, and I think we will see that. They will become a little more attacking as this second half develops, but Lionsbridge will certainly have to be on their guard defensively. I think this man here, James Bradley, he's had a good first half at left back. It's a good lineup. Sam Hall alongside David Materazzi. You can play right back, but he looks like he's tucked in alongside Hall as the centre back, with Noé Bijou playing on the right hand side of defence.
With Elliott coming off for a substitution at halftime, it might have a bit to do with the alterations along the back line as Bijou comes in also in the right back position. We'll see how often he hangs back in the defensive line. Maybe he likes to go up with the midfielders. We've certainly seen him do that a time or two so far this season. It's just part of the danger that the Lionsbridge lineup can have. No player is really tied to their position, of course, other than Marc-Antoine Hewson. It's kind of at a disadvantage if he goes outside of his box, but the rest of the players free-forming and moving around almost like a liquid, gelling together perfectly.
I know the midfield has been maybe the area where most changes have taken place as well. There have been a few players who haven't quite held down their spot in the middle of the park for Lionsbridge. The attack, the defence may be less settled, but the attack certainly looks to be the first choice. At the moment, you've got people like Hugo Kadima, who could be valuable in the squad. Coleman Jennings as well, and Omar Abu Taleb, but the midfield hasn't always been settled. It's not really been prominent tonight as well. We've seen a few more direct passes in the second half. This is a good opportunity for VBU here. It looks like the left foot of Nick Ruiz might well fancy it, but they've got Number 18 there too.
He takes this one, spilled by Hughes, and he's able to parry it away a little bit, but the pressure's not over yet. Virginia Beach still piling forward. Hughes able to hold on to this one as it was a little bit of a lob right to him.
Neither goalkeeper fully convincing, I think, across the context of this, his first 50 minutes or so. A little disappointing there from Hughes, and he very nearly gave VBU a good opportunity there. His fellow Frenchman, Noé Bijou, to spare his blushes. And now the other goalkeeper, Heron, who had a little bit of a juggle with the ball a few moments ago. So both goalkeepers just need a little waking up here at the moment. So no firm clearance away.
As the game goes on and you don't really see very much action, sometimes when you do see that moment, the ball does come to you. It catches you a bit off guard rather than if you're constantly facing shots. There's a heavy foul inside the Lionsbridge half.
Difficult from set piece as well, like that direct free kick. When you've got 4 men in the wall, you've got everyone else in the box, and you try as a goalkeeper to position the wall to give you the best chance of someone in it blocking it, and to give you the best chance of seeing the ball as well. So when it's flying around all those different angles, it can be difficult to get the ball and then hold on to it. So proved difficult for both sides.
Hopfer cutting back across the center, but 3 red jerseys take the ball off his foot. Bijou, though, able to collect. Tries to send in a service towards the far side of the box. Cleared away by Lighting. In the back line. Back through the middle. Goes all the way through. Virginia Beach able to clear it away. Moving it up towards the halfway line. Materazzi with just a little bit of a push into the back of Matthew Fitzer, but that one goes uncalled. It'll be a throw-in for Lionsbridge. Bijou to take it.
Yeah, Materazzi certainly a defender we've noticed is not afraid to get physical. He'll play on the edge of the rule book sometimes as well. A couple of cynical fouls in that first half, but sometimes you need a player like that back in your defence.
Can really liven up a squad when you have a player who's really not afraid to put their body on the line and go down into the referee's book maybe once a match.
Yeah, on a yellow
hopefully
card
not
so far,
twice. You can score big savings at your local Food Lion on everyday favorites and mealtime must-haves to grilling essentials and more. You can count on Food Lion to have the fresh food your family loves at affordable prices every day. Food Lion, the proud sponsor of Lionsbridge Football Club, is Heron able to play a short pass out through the middle to Dylan Rich, and VBU slowly but surely having more and more possession on the ball, and certainly that's a great first step to mounting a comeback here at Town Bank Stadium, trailing by 1 thanks to Maxie Hopfer's 45th minute goal as Houston plays this one just out of bounds. Unfortunate there, he couldn't link up with Bijou.
I do think Virginia Beach are a little bit in the driving seat here. Lionsbridge have to be just a tad careful. They are certainly growing into the game, the away side. They haven't tied a game all season, but this might well be a good opportunity to do that for the first time. And a win tonight, they haven't won 3 in a row all season. This gives them a good opportunity after back-to-back 2-1 wins over Commonwealth Cardinals and then Patuxent most recently on Friday night. And that win certainly worried a few around Lionsbridge that they are just improving their form, the rivals from across the water.
A good pass. Bradley inside the 18, firing a shot into the netting behind the goal. And you can see a couple of substitutes up at the center line getting ready to make their way out onto the field, and that just might be exactly what Lionsbridge needs. Fresh pairs of legs to shaken things up and have plenty of energy to run after the ball and settle things down and be coming out onto the field. It will be Omar Abu Talib. He's taking the place of Maxie Hopfer. In the 11 here. There's Hopfer, certainly Freddie Carty's man to watch, and showed up in a big way.
I'm very relieved about that, certainly. He's been superb in that first half. Grabbed the goal that, at the moment, is deciding the outcome of this game. And he's certainly a player I think we'll see again on Wednesday night, and that will have played a part in this decision. Coleman Jennings coming on as well to to replace Danny Loco, so a rather like-for-like replacement up front, and Chris Wally making sure to use a couple of his subs.
And it's interesting to know that those substitutions are going up top, not in the defense or even really in the midfield. So Lionsbridge saying, we're not done yet. Putting on an offensive display is now going up forward. Abu Talib, his first touch in towards Jennings. Those two substitutes linking up here. Can't make anything out of it just yet, but still plenty of time left for them to get in on the action. Jennings, a very tall frame, right up top with Davey. Certainly two players who know how to use their heads, both literally and figuratively. Jennings always seeming to be in the right spot at the right time, nearly being found as a player goes down inside the box. A number of players, but no call by the official. This one just out for a goal kick.
So two out of that front three being changed there after we saw a defensive change at half-time with Noe Bijou replacing Charlie Elliott. Abu Talib, certainly a player with plenty of ability coming off the bench. 3 goals in the league this season and a good college season as well with UNC Wilmington. And then Coleman Jennings, another player yet to get off the mark this season, but scored 16 goals for Birmingham Southern University last season, 10 assists as well. And he did score the winner in added time in that 1-0 friendly win over Ashland Town, which sparked some rather wild celebrations. So he's certainly a strong player that you can bring off the bench.
Only Bowditch Ford can give you a Bowditch deal, the lowest price possible, the absolute best service, and their commitment to your safety. Nobody beats a Bowditch deal. Lionsbridge looking to make sure that nobody able to beat them so far this season. Currently undefeated. Things stand. It looks like it'll be a very strong effort from VBU that it would take to unseat their undefeated position at the top of the table. A little bit of distance between Lionsbridge and second place Christos FC in the standings as Abu Talib handling this one. Heels towards the touchline, sending across. Opportunity in towards the middle.
Appeal from, I think it's Adam Davey. No one else really seems to be joining in. The referee's just indicated again it's no penalty, it's a corner kick over on the left. So corners, it seems like Virginia have worked well actually to stop any being given it in the first place. Virginia Beach, apologies, but it's only the third in the game for Lionsbridge. The first one they scored from at the 9th minute. The second one, the resulting shot was cleared off the line. So now another chance to really put some pressure on. Can they go 2 goals clear and make it 3-1?
It'll be Bennett to take this kick. Over on the far side of the field, this one has good curl in towards the goal. We're going to see where he decides to place this. 63rd minute. Past the end, looking for Core, can't find him. It's settled down by Hall. Back to Bennett over on the wing. Hall gets it back. A little game of keep away as Hall over to Bennett. Inside the 18 now. Took a deflection en route to the goal. Aren't able to hold on to it, making sure that this one didn't slide past him, whether into the back of the net or out along the end line, giving Lionsbridge another opportunity.
Supporters making so much noise there as the corner was being taken. They know the importance of those set pieces to the Lionsbridge strategy, the likelihood that they do often result in great chances and goals. They played an important part tonight. Looking forward to getting the attendance numbers through as well. Hopefully towards the end of the game. Might well be at the highest one of the season. There's fans down in the stands in front of us, but around the ground there's a big game actually going on over in one of the neighbouring fields in this university. It's brilliant to see.
Jennings, a chance here across the center, off the post. How close was that? Millimeters away from adding another goal to the tally. But a perfect deflection off the post, straight to the goalkeeper. He's certainly happy about that one.
Oh, there were fans celebrating there. You can hear them to the right of me. They thought that one was in. Jennings almost with it. An immediate impact coming off the bench. It was a nicely worked shot. The Bridge really putting the pressure on now. They've hit the woodwork twice now. Joe Core as well in the first half. They're going to start to feel hard done by.
Still in the lead so far, and that's where you want to be, especially as the game moving towards the 65th minute. The ball played out of bounds. As the red jerseys begin to retreat here, Lionsbridge picks up the ball as Papa John's, the official pizza of Lionsbridge FC. You can try the new epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. It was a good throw. I believe that's Bradley who sent that one down the line and found its way all the way into the box of the visitors before being booted back across the field. Guerrero picking this one up at the center line. A play with a lot of speed and ball control. Able to find Abu Talib, or trying to find him at least, over on the sideline, but Virginia Beach defenders able to knock it out of play. As Jennings comes over for the throw, and if there's a player that you want to have take a throw in, there's very few ahead of Coleman Jennings.
Let's see what he's got then from this one. Over on the right again, and it's all Lionsbridge so far. Those are attacking substitutions made by Chris Wally paying dividends.
So he sends this one, Heron off his line, able to punch that one away past the penalty spot. And a good tackle by Bijou, able to slow that ball down. Able to stop the breakaway as he's called upon again and answers the bell both times. Good turn by Field. Now Fitzer goes back into his defense.
It's a proper derby game, this one. Two rivals going head-to-head. Lionsbridge looking to move even further out on the top of the table. VBU looking to put a bit of pressure on Nova FC, just a point above them. There is a lot at stake. And they're really buying into the anticipation, the atmosphere here at Townbank. Lionsbridge did try and settle it down, though, in the days leading up to the game. Their practice on Friday took place at Buckrow Beach. The players going down on a light walk and a jog, and then just throwing a few footballs around in the ocean. It was very relaxed. Chris Wally brought his dog along and everything. It was really nice to be a part of, but he knew this was such an important week. He wanted to relax his players, a bit of team bonding, and it looks like it's worked so far. It was a really good idea, I think, by the coaches, and the players bought into it.
And that's exactly the thing that sometimes goes unnoticed by fans, players, and even coaches, that sometimes it's not always best to have a strict regimen that you're following up until game days. It's okay to relax and get yourself right mentally before being able to dial things in. If you have that opportunity to relax, it can settle you down, calm some nerves, and even provide just better cohesion with the team that you wouldn't have in a regular training session.
That was my first practice session I've been to as well, and when I was told it was at the beach, I was very surprised. So it was nice to be a part of. I'm sure it will get a little more serious in the days coming up before the Bridge do face Christos, but when you've got a lovely area like this, you might as well take advantage of it.
Guerrero to Bennett, able to squeak that one off his foot, but straight to the Virginia Beach defenders, and they're able to clear that one away. Ball going down into the opposite direction. And of course, like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Jimmy Fay is there. Whether it's home, life, or auto insurance, Jimmy Fay has you covered. You can visit jimmyfay.com for more. Here's Lionsbridge with another throw, trying to move quickly. Jennings. Pass in towards the middle. This one squeaks free, straight to Hall, though. Good control to settle it down. Abu Talib back across the center, but just off sides, and that's just the first time Lionsbridge has been called for that so far tonight.
Just change here by VBU. Francisco Ferrer coming on, replacing Franco Trinidati. I think Chris Wally deserves a little bit of credit for the change made at half-time. Charlie Elliott, of course, scored, had a good first half, replaced by Noé Bijou, and I think the defence has looked stronger in the 25 minutes following half-time. I like the move of Bijou out to the right. Materazzi's done really well at centre-back alongside Sam Hall, and they do look to be far more settled across that back line. Often managers are reluctant to make defensive changes. This one was a small one, slightly tactical as well. I think it looks like it might have just worked out for the Bridge.
And that could certainly bode well coming into the culmination of the regular season and playoffs, as well as when you have that defensive alteration in your back pocket. That can certainly make things a bit more chaotic for the other team as there's a collision around the center circle. Core waves off the trainer. He makes his way up as there's a scary collision between him and Brandon Baird.
Luckily, both of them look to be relatively okay straight after. Those measures are a lot more strict, as they should be around concussion nowadays, so I wonder if Of course, just going to be assessed over by the Lionsbridge dugout, but good to see his opposite number also came away relatively unharmed. Okay, we get back underway, of course. We've got about 20 minutes to go then, and we'll stick around after the match to watch Lionsbridge lift the Coastal Virginia trophy. For the 4th year in a row. Once again, coming out on top over their rivals Virginia Beach United. Then it's time for the Bowditch Ford fireworks as well. So all entertainment all night long on this July 4th weekend.
And of course, also towards the end of the game, we'll have the Bowditch Ford drive of the game. Only Bowditch Ford can give you a Bowditch deal, the lowest price possible, the absolute best service, and their commitment to your safety. Nobody beats a Bowditch deal, and have a couple goals to choose from so far. We'll have to see if Lionsbridge is able to put on perhaps one more. Certainly 70th minute. Don't seem quite finished yet on the scoring front.
Yeah, there's onus on VBU here. Scores staying at 2-1, and they'll be very pleased with that. It feels like it could be 3 or 4 at the moment. It could have been by the end of the first half, and VBU are just going to be hanging on in there at the moment. There's loud appeals, and there is going to be a yellow card there. The crowd really not happy with what they saw.
I think that's a spot-on call for David Elliott, the head official. Diego Rosales going down into the referee's book. A bit of a tackle from behind and a push to the back as well. It's coming on Tony Shaw, the substitute for Lionsbridge FC.
Tony Shaw, one of few players in his second season at Lionsbridge now. The midfielder from Alabama. He's coming on to replace Joe Cora, hit the crossbar in the first half. Good game, that's a great interception there as well by the number 17 for Lionsbridge, James Bradley at left back. And I think it's time for a hydration break. It's the last one of this game. Chris Wally with another chance to impart some wisdom onto that squad. It looks like that'll be him done with substitutions now for the time being. He's got the squad as he likes it now out on the field. And it's Lionsbridge's game to win here. It does feel like really they should have a couple more goals to their tally.
Absolutely, and of course the mind immediately goes back to the miss by Adam Davey towards the end of the first half. Not quite in stoppage time just yet, but he seemed like he had a wide open avenue to fire the ball home, and somehow the ball ends up over the net. And certainly one that you don't want your friends seeing on the replay, and certainly one that your friends don't mind showing you the replay of, just to keep you not too big for your britches and keep you calm, but also you can use that as motivation to try and work on that and improving your final touch. The Lionsbridge, like you said, Freddie, feel a bit hard done to only be up by 1 after all the hard work they've put in across these 73 minutes. But still, they've been able to hold strong defensively, and that's been the biggest thing for them. There's just one surprising goal that really caught them off guard by Rosales in the 15th minute, but after that, there hasn't really been anything from the visitors on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and it's time for them to go for it now, you feel, as we go into the last 15 minutes. Virginia Beach have got to take a risk. They're a point behind Nova, so they've got to have a go here just to keep their hunt for third place on in the Chesapeake division. I think the onus has to be on them. Lionsbridge will know that. The next goal is absolutely vital.
And see whether it's Lionsbridge that's able to secure that goal or it's Virginia Beach United. Certainly would have big implications. Maybe not changing the final result, as in Virginia Beach United able to lift the cup, but certainly would be a big momentum boost for them. They're able to get a draw against one of the top teams in all of USL 2, really, let alone the division.
Yeah, and the other two games in this competition, of course, within the league, May the 14th, a 3-0 win for Lionsbridge. Sam Hall scored a brace in that one, but much tighter on the 1st of June. Charlie Elliott scored at the start of the second half And that win ultimately clinched the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup. So Elliott playing big roles in the last two meetings between these two sides. But Virginia Beach have improved as the season's gone on. We've seen that tonight, but I think they have struggled in this second half.
I think some of that may have to do with what I talked about earlier and how it's just they didn't have the full team at the start of the season. So it can be a bit of a daunting task trying to fill in your starting 11 with people you would normally have in the reserves or even on the bench to start off the game. But as the season has gone on, they've certainly improved, and that's good news for the head coach as well as the players and fans as well.
Good save there by Marc-Antoine Husen. Maybe not as much of a game to remember for him as Wednesday night over Christos once, but if they can come away with a 2-1 win here, he'll be a happy man.
Guerrero handing it off to Bennett, who's had a really remarkable performance. 2 assists for him tonight, certainly in the running for tonight's Riverside Man of the Match. Both sides trying to just find that possession and carry it forward into the attacking third. Lionsbridge Football Club would like to thank our incredible friends at Clancy and Thay's Construction Company for their long-standing support of the club. Clancy and Thay's aims to do the right thing the right way, and that's the Clancy way.
Throwing down the left end for Lionsbridge, so would love to get a goal here, just to steady things into the final moment. It's the final 10 minutes or so of this game.
A nice bit of skill from Guerrero. Somehow he comes through holding on to that ball, finds Abu Talib down by the corner. Looking for a corner kick instead. He'll have to settle for a throw-in for now. There'll be a throw-in. Coleman Jennings to take it. And with him with the ball in his hands, might as well have a corner kick. We'll see where he's able to put this one.
Yeah, they haven't committed too many forward though, Lionsbridge here. The goalkeeper happy to come off his line, which is interesting. Done it in the last couple of balls that have been launched into the box.
Abu Talib just missed timing the bounce of that ball, as nearly had a good chance to increase the lead for Lionsbridge, and a mistake nearly coming back to bite Heron. Sure, you get the initial touch on the ball, but sometimes that isn't quite the best thing, is then you're out of position. You have to scramble back and find your bearings once more while trying to track the ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's been a masterclass in goalkeeping tonight. There's been a few shaky moments at both ends, but goalkeepers have done well enough to keep this score down so far.
Middle of the field. Bennett able to hold on to it. Guerrero again, moving forward. A little bit of space, trying to find Jennings. Abu Talib. Across the center. Too many red jerseys in the area, and again, that seems to be the big limiting factor for Lionsbridge on the attack. It's just the numbers game by the defenders, able to overwhelm them, cutting off all those passing angles, making it very difficult to try and find a way through.
I think Bennett might have been offside there as well, but was allowed to continue by the assistant referee down in front of us. The attack coming to nothing in the end. We're into the final 12 minutes of this one now. Lionsbridge already sealing the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup with 2 wins in the first 2 games between the Bridge and Virginia Beach United, but this game still plenty to play for, of course. The cup operates within the league, so these are all normal league games between these two teams, but it's just something extra to play for within the season.
This ball is played up through the middle. Marc-Antoine Husen, haven't really said his name in quite a while. He's able to come off his line and lay claim to it. It's a good job by him, good awareness. Despite not really having much action on his side of the field so far this half, still recognizing the ball came his way and able to lay out and lay claim to it.
Both teams just a little flat at the moment. Brendan can clear the ball away there. So we need something to spark this game into life, and that will have to be Virginia Beach trying to come forward, trying to press just a little bit more if they can. Good header there again with Abu Talib. He's looked lively since coming on. He's thrown himself around, not being afraid to challenge for the ball in the air.
Lionsbridge still pressing forward, and such a dangerous team even in the later stages of the game. Bennett moving forward, taking a shot, and this one goes off target. Will bring us to tonight's Man of the Match, brought to you by Riverside. And tonight's Man of the Match is Andrew Bennett. He's had himself quite a phenomenal night so far. 2 assists to him, 1 from the corner kick and 1 from the run of play on both goals for Lionsbridge. And really, he's just had a very strong performance. We say it time and time again. He's a player that really shows up every single game day. I can't really recall a time where he's maybe been off his game.
There's 7 assists as well, most at the club this season by a long way as well. So he came into this game with 5, which was already a club record for this season. 7 now is incredibly impressive from 10 games. He's a player is actually from the same county as where I live in Hertfordshire, in England. Play for a side called Ware, who are just a league below Hitchin Town, of course, as I'm usually commentating for. Hitchin played against them this season. He was player of the season there a couple of years ago, so a club I know well. It's great to see him doing well over here.
He's really done a nice job, and hopefully we'll be able to have him back next year for season 2023 of Lionsbridge FC. As all these players so far this season doing a really nice job coming together and trying to string the second undefeated season in a row.
He's just trying to make something happen on that far side, but struggling so far. That's broken up again by that man of the match. He's unable to use the ball. Well, we do have news about the attendance. We'll get to that in a minute. Virginia Beach still trying to put some pressure on there. Enjoying a bit more possession at the moment, but nothing to show for it so far.
Well, that in and of itself isn't really worrying for Lionsbridge. It's just the fact that it's almost a carefree possession for Virginia Beach United. They aren't being pressured really at all by the boys in blue, and well, that's not coming back to bite them just yet. All it takes is just one kick of the ball to knot things up.
Ball back with VBU's goalkeeper. Well, here is that news. Everybody in the crowd tonight is a part of history. The Townbank Stadium tonight for Virginia Beach United's trip to Lionsbridge FC is the largest crowd anywhere in USL League 2 this season. It's the largest crowd in the 5-year history of Lionsbridge FC. Today's attendance, 3,546. Record-breaking stuff from the Lionsbridge supporters. What a night to be a part of.
And it's really just incredible that Lionsbridge, just 5 years old, and already the biggest crowd in the USL League 2 this season, and have such an impact on the community. And you can see every week on social media how Lionsbridge loves to reach out and be a part of the community. And they even run soccer clinics on the weekends with crowd alongside Chick-fil-A, able to make that possible. And the players love it, the coaches love it, and certainly the fans love it as well.
Absolutely incredible. Over 3,500 people in tonight. We've got the club's co-founder, Mike Vest, sitting to our right. I mean, it must be a proud moment for him. I'm not sure he'd have envisaged crowds like that 5 years ago when Lionsbridge were first coming into fruition. It's incredible to be a part of it. It's my first game here as well. What an achievement by all at Lionsbridge FC. The interns, the players, the coaches, all of the volunteers here. And of course the fans are the ones who make it possible each game. And they still want to be going home cheering. Lionsbridge still 2-1 up here, 6 minutes left. They've got a corner on that left-hand side. The third goal here would send these 3,500 people.
In that last effort, it was Jennings doing battle. It looked like it was with Baird. along the back line, and Jennings doing really well despite being a goal up and in the final 10 minutes of a match. Still fighting for every ball like it's the opening whistle.
And here comes the atmosphere again. Everyone drumming on their seats and with their feet. They're making the noise intensifying. Flags are being waved across the stands. I know it's an excellent opportunity. Is the goalkeeper going to come flying off his line again? It's a really important moment. The referee just sorting out where the players are in that 6-yard box. 31. Sam Paul is not happy at all with being given a talking to by the referee here. Just delaying proceedings at the moment.
Of course, Freddie, you of course know how hotly contested it is there inside the 18-yard box as well as inside the 6. The delivery comes in. Bennett punched away by Heron. Still dangerous areas. Lionsbridge is able to recover. Out on the sideline, it's Davey sends in a cross. Defender able to get a touch on it.
Very calm and composed skill there. VVU do give the ball away though. Materazzi.
Pinballing around still. Is this one up in front of the goalkeeper? Jennings trying to go in. Will get called for a foul. Little hedge of protection around the goalkeeper coming back to haunt him there. As figured, why not?
Yeah, you've got a challenge for those, but you called it right. It's always hard against all the players you're going to go up against in the air that you run the most risk when it is the goalkeeper. And Heron, standing firm there, was fouled. But he's given the ball straight away here. His kicking certainly taken a turn for the worse in the second half too.
Of course, the good thing to see is that both players able to come away from a challenge like that no worse for wear at all, as sometimes the goalkeeper gets really caught off guard when a field player comes in to take the aerial effort, whether it knocks the wind out of them or even worse. Good thing to see that they're both up as Baird clears this one away from the end line. Jennings lets it go out of bounds very nearly.
Yeah, nearly took out Chris Woolley there. I think he's having a laugh about it. I mean, one of the features of Townbank Stadium, the coaches are so close to the edge of the pitch there. There aren't any of these big, technical boxes or whatever they're called. The coach is right on the side. I think the referee is actually just going to have a word with Chris Woolley, say get back a bit. And Woolley not too happy, but he's got to be careful. He's used his mouth a little bit too much in recent games. Has been found wanting for it, so sure he'll have learned. Just a bit scrappy at the moment into the final 3 minutes plus added time at Townbank. Lionsbridge keeping the unbeaten record alive with a win as things stand. 2-1 to the good. All the action happening in the first half so far. They really could have a couple more. That moment with Coleman Jennings hitting the post. Really one that would have decided the game. But Virginia Beach just still alive and kicking somehow.
And it just goes to show you that the crosswater rival game between these two teams, still everything being thrown at the opposition from both sides. Down but not out. Virginia Beach United still trying to go forward.
Yeah, it was a poor option really in the end by Matthew Fitzer, going for some kind of delicate chip up and over Marc-Antoine Hughes, and it's never really going to come off. Better off just holding that ball up the ball a little bit longer.
Maybe a goal kick for Lionsbridge as Hughes rolls this one out towards his right side.
Hughes, I think he'll be happy just to slow the ball down a little bit here. We had the substitution, but the referee making sure he gets on with it. Maybe a result that doesn't do Lionsbridge justice. They've still got room for improvement, I think, certainly with this performance, but on another night, they'd have 3 or 4, I think, by this point.
And a quick restart from Virginia Beach United as they still have one goal to get in the final couple of minutes of this contest here in the closing seconds of the 89th minute. And then we still, of course, have stoppage time coming up. First half saw 4 minutes added on. Still plenty of time for the visitors to find an equalizer.
Well, Christmas coming up on Wednesday. I wonder what sort of message this win will send out by Lionsbridge. I'm not sure there'll be a part of Chris that'll see it and really panic. There might be a part of them that actually thinks Lionsbridge might be there for the taking a little bit more. It's not been as convincing as Chris Wally might have imagined, but Virginia Beach, a side that has improved season upon season since formation in 2019. They finished bottom of the table last year and they're up in 4th, so they've certainly done well, and they are still in the game as things stand. Lionsbridge cannot rest on their laurels one bit.
Ferrer, a little bit of room, able to find Ruiz. Double teamed, the ball taken off his foot, shot off target. This one will go out for a goal kick, which will bring us to tonight's Drive of the Game, brought to you by Bowditch Ford. Only Bowditch Ford can give you a Bowditch deal, the lowest price possible, the absolute best service, and their commitment to your safety. Tonight's Drive of the Game is the second goal, and that was just before halftime. Maxie Hopper able to get the go-ahead goal as this ball was played up over the top, back across the center. Bennett did a really nice job, able to settle things down on the edge of the 18-yard box as now Lionsbridge going forward. And it was such a big goal for Lionsbridge as it really put the momentum back in their favor going into the halftime break.
Yeah, big free kick here into the final 4 minutes, and as you say, that goal from Maxie Hopper as things stand, settling it, but Bennett, what a role he's played, deservedly named the man of the match. I really like he's been recognised for those 2 assists, and he's been the assist man this season, 7 in total in the league. But Maxie Hopper, another big game, another big goal by the Austrian forward.
So looking ahead, like you were talking about, Christos FC coming here to Newport News on Wednesday. The visitors have another throw-in.
Everyone appealing over there for that, including Chris Wally. The referee just making sure the throw-in's in the right place for everybody over in the Lionsbridge dugout on their feet, willing the clock down. And there's a man down there now, though, and all the Lionsbridge fans right in the edge of the fence, because the players will be coming around for autographs after. They want to be in the best position they can. And I really like that as well, because win, lose or draw, the players will be coming around to meet their supporters after each match.
Davey gets booked with a yellow card there just inside the Lionsbridge half. 4 minutes of stoppage time here coming up. We're about a minute in so far, but still a couple of fouls here and there, so maybe about 4 more minutes. This one is played inside the 18. Hughesen can't hold on to it. The ball is loose inside the box. Lionsbridge able to clear it away. The ball goes down to the opposite side, and now it's Heron who's able to pick it up. Or rather, pick the ball up on the field and try and move it down. Abu Talib gets called for a foul. He kicks the ball off the crossbar. So close for him.
Fouled anyway, but what a massive moment that was for Virginia Beach. Lionsbridge almost switching off one time too many. And they were able to get away with it once more. All VBU in the final 2 minutes of this tie. The referee checks his watch.
Still plenty of time for the visitors to pull this one back. Lionsbridge has to be on top of their game if they have looked to hold this one off and see this win through. Hall, short pass out to Bradley along the wing. He just sends it down to the opposite direction. That's the right call from him. And now it's Virginia Beach who has to go the entire length of the pitch once more. Time running out. Lionsbridge appealing for a handball. They won't get it. Battle over on the sideline and a physical challenge. That's another foul from Lionsbridge. 3 fouls in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, Coleman Jennings getting stuck in right in front of his dugout as well, who all applauded him crazily. But now this is probably the last opportunity of the game for VBU to send everyone forward, try and salvage a point from this game. At the moment, they're heading back across the water with none. Lionsbridge going to pick up their 8th win from 10 games if this result stands.
Shaw off his head. Bijou keeps it in play, and that's a big win for Lionsbridge. Going the other way, Baird able to knock it out of bounds, unfortunately for the visitors.
Must be almost there now. The referee's checked his watch a couple times. Looks like Lionsbridge are going to go 3 wins against VBU in the league this season. The trophy will be coming out of its box very soon.
Of course, here's Rosales, the goal scorer for the visitors. Scored in the 14th minute. Can he do it again here? Perhaps one of his teammates. This ball is thrust in towards the center. Lighting trying to take this one, collides with Shaw. Both players down. Lighting gets up. And finally the whistle sounds here at Town Bank Stadium. Lionsbridge come away with a hard-fought win, especially in the late stages of this game. Seemed like everything was still to play for. And Virginia Beach United, props to them, played until the very final whistle.
It's wins like these you will look back on if he gets through to the playoffs, because this has been hard fought by both sides. Lionsbridge coming out on top thanks to that Maxi Hopfer goal right on the stroke of half-time. They made it pretty difficult for themselves today, but they're over the line. VVU will be bitterly disappointed, but they just haven't done enough to get more out of this game. Lionsbridge will walk away with the 3 points. They get the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup